Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy. Welcome, everybody. Episode 50. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. I was about to say
bring the energy, Taylor.
Welcome to the Evening Gamer for the 50th time.
For the 50th episode. 50 hours of listening to Tay-Tay and me rabbit on.
To Tay-Tay and Guy just...
in the Evening Gay Bar.
That's it.
Clinking drinks, baby.
Clinking drinks. Episode 50.
Here we go.
And you know what? It's been actually nice to kind of take a step back a bit this episode, because we're not really doing the reviews this episode.
We're not. You're doing the reviews this episode.
You guys are doing the reviews.
You're doing the fucking reviews.
We're flipping the script here in the Evening Gay Bar.
We put a pause on recording to let the reviews come in. To celebrate episode 50, we're doing a $100 giveaway. We've got a top three. We're going to 3, 2, 1 it down. We're not going to let on who those three are, but we're going to release them one by one. So you're going to have to strap in and strap on for
strap in and strap
winner.
On. Strap in, strap on, headsets on. Whether you're in the car, maybe you're at work, have a little giggle to yourself, a little exhale out of the nostril. We've just sit the fuck back. The Evening Gay Bar's got you covered.
Did you say covered or coming?
I said covered, but they both work, baby girl.
Because I feel like we're really turning into the Evening Gay Bar.
We actually need to. We should.
I think we got to pull back on that.
Yeah, before we steer ourselves into traffic there.
Yeah, before we get in trouble with some commentary. Anyway, so firstly off the jump, thank you everybody for writing in. We really appreciated the engagement. You know, we had a number of them that we went through, responded back to a lot of the ones, and it was to be honest, it warmed my heart.
Yeah,
you know, my cold heart of going. You know, sometimes you think you're just in an echo chamber, and what we're saying is sort of just going out into the nether without much sort of bite. But you know, when we get feedback like that, you know, it does encourage us to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, the feedback and the involvement's been unreal, and it's been so good over the course of the last 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it's been to kind of feel the phone buzz and log into the email and see another game there and read another just take on that game. Even if it's something I've played or haven't played, it's been super fucking nice. So thank you everyone.
And you've needed it, T, because you've been in the downs.
I know, I've been sick again.
You're having a run of it.
Mate, fucking honestly. It was there was actually one day where I felt so in the wars. I woke up sick and I had do you pluck your eyebrows?
Wow, that was a pivot.
I know that seems like a left turn.
I think every male picks their eyebrows.
Do you mean with
the tweezers?
Yeah, so I plucked my eyebrows one night and then went to bed. I fucking overnight developed into an ingrown eyebrow, and
what?
My whole eye was swollen with fluid, bro. It was fucked, and I was sick. I was like, I turned to MJ and I was like, am I all right? Am I okay?
Breaking apart at the seams.
Mate, honestly, the flu knocked me around. So to have emails that I could read about games from you guys kept my spirits up. So thank you.
With your one eye closed.
just barely hanging on for the last 2 weeks.
Barely hanging on. I mean, I've been getting the flu shot, so I've been ducking and weaving cold and flu in this season like crazy. I tend to do it every season.
I'm going to start doing it, man.
Oh, it's a must. It's such a must. I mean, I can't remember. I remember Kyle once saying you don't do it because your body becomes immune to it or something. Or maybe he's just talking about cold and flu tablets or something.
Maybe, but I thought they were often redundant because of the different mutations that the flu will have.
Yeah.
So you get the vaccine or the shot, right? But then it just kind of goes to someone and mutates it a little bit and then just comes full circle back to you. And it doesn't really matter. But the two of you now, two of you have told me that it's worked. So
when are these fucking mutations actually going to be beneficial? What's the next stage in the evolutionary arc here? Can we have a cold and flu that goes around that gives night vision?
Actually,
what the fuck?
Why
is it always the sinuses that gets fucked up?
Why is it always negative as well?
Exactly.
Why can't you get the flu and you become faster?
Yeah, I want to jump a meter higher.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's actually a fucking great question. Why is everything trying to kill us?
Yeah. Let's engage a scientist. Let's get fucking, I don't know, what Bill Nye the Science Guy to explain it.
Let's do it.
What's
Venom called? What's he called? What are they called?
In Spider-Man?
No, the actual Venom. They're fuck. They're
antiviral
the symbiotics.
Symbiotics.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, symbiosis.
Let's start developing some of them.
fucking love it.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
you get the flu, you just throw a symbiotic on someone or whatever, and they
you devour someone else and you get
Black
their power.
Spider-Man, that's it.
Yeah, you get taller or something.
Yeah.
This is we're really steering into zombieism here.
No,
Zombieism?
no more of this.
Zombify?
What?
I don't know. Have you
no more of this fucking cold night sweats and fevers.
8 weeks later, days later, months later, whatever.
Years later, the newest
Have
one.
you seen it?
No, it's in cinema still.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Is it good?
Yes. There's a hesitation there.
There was.
Yeah.
You seem rather ambivalent about that, yes.
Yeah, because look, it's a good movie. It's a sound movie. There's just I don't know if I'm splitting hairs, but there was just some character decision making that you were just like, oh, really?
I get that all the time, eh?
Oh man, you just I know for the plot, that you've got to do it, but you sort of if you're a normal person, you'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. That's stupid.
That's dumb.
Really dumb.
Me and MJ have been watching the Saws. Did you ever go through the Saws, like Saw?
Oh fuck, mate! They got to be my absolute. I watched the first one because it was critically acclaimed, started the whole thing, Australian sort of.
Yeah.
There's the story there, so I watched the first one and I got it. From that point on, I refused to watch them. It's like the Human Centipede sort of stuff. There's a limitation to the horror that I will put myself through to watch, and I honestly because the thing for me is somebody could watch that and be like, fuck, I'll do that.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to do that to somebody. And just putting that, incepting a fucking psychotic's mind to do that to another human being, I'm not about it. I feel like there's a limit here to what we should be fucking putting out there.
I didn't actually know that there was storyline involved. So we were watching them and I actually don't mind them. I feel like violence in movies over the last 20 years has come a long way. Yeah. And it's now kind of... Especially you mentioned Human Centipede. That is fucked, mate. That is A double plus up the top psychotic idea for a movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was in that room when they were pitching it and they were like, yeah, so I want to do this, man. And it'll be really cool. And everyone's like, yeah, that sounds fucking great. I'm going to give you some money to do that. And then I'm going to jump out of this building like that. Anyway.
Or just be the actors to be like, yeah, I'll be the middle.
Yeah. I always thought about that.
What do you think your career's going to go on after that?
Yeah.
What are you going to an interview and go oh, there's a gap in your resume here. Well,
there's a gap in your resume here. There's 2 big things on either side of you missing that I'd love to hear about. But you're the guy in the middle of you would always forever be the guy
be known as that
in the middle of this Human Centipede.
You'd never let that down. You'd be swallowing that.
If you had to choose. You choose on the end, right? The front.
No, I'm choosing death.
You're choosing the front, yeah.
Pop me. Burn me alive. I'd rather do that than cop back or middle.
Yeah, you don't want to be copping back or middle.
They've done another one. I think I saw a trailer for it. And you know what? In the trailer, this is fucked. It's not 3 people. They've done it to 150 people.
Okay.
And they're all prisoners or something.
Anyway.
Sorry, everybody.
We've been watching the Saws.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say I agree with you because some of the decision making in those movies, you're like, no, this is not the best. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You idiots.
Yeah. I also watched Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah. I saw that in the cinemas.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. What do you think? Strong Gothic overtones.
Oh, yeah. The Gothic was there. As a, 1800s or whatever time period it's set in, you really sort of get the timepiece. Acted really well.
Yeah.
But my word, the sex with the vampire dude.
Was weird.
Yeah. I don't know why. And the guy comes back and she's giving him such a hard time, and then he's she's like, fuck me, and then you're like, whoa, bro,
the whole thing is, I thought it was okay. I thought it was a really great depiction of a vampire.
Yeah,
you put that depiction of a vampire beside Vampire Diaries, and one's all fucking,
or
pixie dust and all that other bullshit.
Edward Cullen kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly. And then you look at the Nosferatu depiction of a monster and you're like, that's actually probably
to be fair, they've romanticized vampires in a lot of fucking mediums. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Anyway, what the fuck? What have you been playing at the moment? This is usually an early question we ask.
I've been playing The Last of Us 2.
Nice.
I finished The Blueprints.
Very nice.
And I've been playing fucking
Doom Dark Ages.
Dark Ages. There it is.
Yes.
Thank you. We were talking about this
I'm glad
before.
we did some prep work.
Yes. Thank you, Guy. Thank you for the help. I've also gotten back into sim racing. He's back.
Sim racing,
Yeah, man.
nice. You got the rig out? You got the rig I bought you for your birthday
That's
out?
it. That's
nice,
it.
Nice.
Mate, hitting up Silverstone. Oh, that's a fun track to drive.
Love that. Have you gotten the new F1 game? I think they've released a new
yeah.
one. You got the new one?
Paid
Yeah,
EA
nice.
$485 for that, so that was nice. Thank you, EA.
What did you get? The ultimate Ubisoft
it's just
version?
like fucking, bro, I went to buy it and it's like the minimum is like $120. And I was
yeah,
like,
I've noticed that now. Like a lot of the
Sick,
games,
EA,
they've
cool.
increased the minimum dollar amount. It used to be $100 like flat, maybe $120 for an ultimate version, but now it seems like they've increased it.
so annoying. EA's
Dirty
the
dogs.
worst, bro.
Yeah.
What are you playing?
So I finished Fires of Rubicon.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to review that in the coming weeks, and as you'll do Blueprints and I'm sure Doom Dark Ages.
100%. And The Last of Us.
Yes, Last of Us Part 2 will be a big one. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that one. And then Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon has been one I've been doing. And these have actually been recommendations from Milky Pockets did Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon. He said it's worth a go.
Get in there, MP.
Don Dathian gave me Fires of Rubicon. So sort of I'm doing some that have been written in
Fires
saying
of
I should
Rubicon.
play.
Yeah, I gave that a go. I'm looking forward to that review as well. That'd be interesting.
I fear that Don Dathian, who recommended it, is not going to be too happy with my review, to be honest.
I don't think a lot of people will be happy. To be honest, bro.
Anyway, let's park it for when we review it because we got plenty to cover off. So we did have a write-in, and this individual I don't think listened to the episode that knew we were doing a competition because I'm sure they probably would have wanted to get in on that comp. But they did write in with a topic for us to discuss.
Yes,
and the topic was around game ideas that should be made that haven't been made, that could be pulled from other mediums. You know? So here's one, and I'll read it out verbatim because, it is worthy of being read out, and we are doing an episode of readouts from the audience. So
hit me.
He was saying, my idea for a segment that would be fun to hear your opinion on is cool game ideas. So this would be games that should happen in a certain way or may even be shocking that they have not been made yet. Some examples would be a Predator game in the spirit of Predator Concrete Jungle from the PS2. I never played it. I don't know if you ever played it.
I didn't know. I did have a PS2 though.
Yeah, so did I. So imagine a modern predator-free roam game where you can go planet to planet hunting almost anything. Xenomorphs, humans, vampires, robots, samurai, pirates, ninjas, massive alien creatures. Hell, throw some dinosaurs in there and say predators took some 60 million years ago because they love hunting them, blah, blah, blah. You can make your own build of a predator, love that, and imagine the customization you can do. Predators are sick as hell, customize your ship, change up, some of the weapons they're running with, love all of that. You can start off as a young blood predator, work your way up the ranks, become an elder predator, hunting bigger game. Since predators live so long, you can have the story sketch out over centuries and time jumps between them, or play as different predators in different eras. And then he also said another sequel, would be a Bully sequel by Rockstar, the Candace Countermeasure, which we've talked a little bit about recently.
We have.
But he was saying do it in the corporate world. So he's graduated and he's now gone corporate.
Do it in the corporate world.
I imagine the insanity of that. So thank you. That was from Milky.
Like bullying people in the corporate world?
Yeah, I think so.
Or like he's trying to actually make it as an adult.
Yeah,
Imagine that he's just stressing over his taxes. Fuck.
I mean, to be honest,
they get me every time.
You'd really have to stylize it a fair bit because if you do it too bland, you're in a corporate meeting and they're like, right, guys, so in Q4, like, how are we going to deliver this, project idea? Option A, cut resources and push out the budget, and you're like, what? This is like a day job. Yeah. What the fuck am I doing here?
It's just called life. That's just that game.
Yeah. But I love it. But anyway, in reading that write-in, it made me think of the Prey 2 game trailer that came out all the way back in 2006 by Bethesda. I played it to T just before we started recording, and T's reaction was pretty good.
I essentially was like, how do I play that? And you're like, you can't.
It never released.
It died.
It's the pin-up game of development hell where they released some amazing game trailer that everybody got sucked into. And it spoke a lot to this write-in of sort of, I think it was like a Marshall alien planet and you're capturing people and sort of generating money from being a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
In essence, which I'm so sad that game never got made because it would have been fantastic. They obviously took a lot of the assets, I think, and then eventually developed it into the
Very
new
like
Prey game.
Blade runnery, cyberpunky kind of almost Western. Cyborg Western almost.
Yeah.
He was very much a gunslinger. It looked pretty good.
It did look really good. I mean, back then though, it was around that era where it was like the game trailers that were released were so far from the actual game that got delivered. It was like, this is
one was
just
the
to get
movie
you
version.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
to be fair, like we've obviously talked Cyberpunk. They still do it to this day and age.
I always found Uncharted to be like that. Uncharted had these great gameplay trailers, and then you'd play and you'd be like, this is linear as fuck.
Yeah. I think a lot of listeners would probably be like, how dare you hit Uncharted?
Why is it so loved?
I've played all of them and I did enjoy them. You're right though, they are linear. I'll give you that.
But see, the thing is, I actually don't mind linear. I'm actually a linear gamer.
For me, it's the characters. Like I thought the characters were really well played out, well thought out.
Yeah.
And Nathan Drake's fantastic. And like it was particularly when it gets to second and third, and they bring in sort of all the other players in it and his friends and with all the various thieves and stuff. And you
kind
sort of
expands a bit.
And then his family. Like I love that. That's like it's rather heartwarming.
Did you like the movie?
No, fuck no. Who the fuck likes that? It's Mark Wahlberg and who was it? Tom Holland. And they just didn't do it well. Like I think they should have spent more time thinking about who's going to play Nathan Drake, who's got the gravitas to play off a Nathan Drake. And you think through like who's got that wry, cheeky kind of douchery ability, and I'm not sure Mark Wahlberg landed it.
Yeah, no. But he's also like...
Or Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland played the
It was a bit too Hollywood, wasn't it?
It was a bit, yeah.
It's like make the character have proper substance, eh? Make him the kind of depressed, as you said, cheeky grave digger, essentially.
Yes, yeah. It was just. I think you're right. It was a bit too Hollywood for me.
Too hokey. That's the problem with Hollywood is they do hokey too often.
You're right. You are right. I rewatched Man of Steel the other day because I showed it to Em. She'd never seen it.
Isn't there a new one coming out?
There's a new Superman. That's why we watched it.
But the Man of Steel is the Cavill ones, right?
That's Henry Cavill, yeah. And
I remember that I like the Man of Steels.
Mate.
The Man of Steels are good.
So the Man of Steel, they did just one and then they did Batman v Superman and then Justice League.
Jeez, wasn't that a fucking miss?
Well, yeah, I know.
That was the Affleck Batman as well.
Honestly, like his work in the Justice League or the DCU, Man of Steel is fucking good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It is so good.
I almost wish that he'd cooked harder on the later ones because as soon as you start getting Gal Gadot in there and it's like it just sort of drops off the thing. And the Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman, I can't remember the actor's name, but you could tell he's trying to act his heart out to be a sinister bad guy. Yeah. But every time he's on screen, I'm like, bro, like I just can't take you seriously.
Superman has strong roots as well. I remember watching Smallville.
Yeah.
Do you remember watching Smallville?
Mate, Smallville was class.
Man, I remember the Bug Boy episode. Superman's just such an easy character to write a story around. And that Man of Steel movie was so good. You know what else I've watched recently? We're covering ground, sorry everyone.
Yeah,
we'll get to these
reviews. We're flying all over the place.
The Guardians of the Galaxy. I watched all three recently, and I'm on board with David Bautista.
Hey, there you go. Nice.
He's fucking hilarious.
One of the other wrestlers I think recently came out. What's the name of the Peacemaker guy? He's an ex-wrestler, but he was even saying Dave Bautista is like a whole nother level. Like that, he's got so much range.
Yeah, he actually does. Anyway, let's see. All right, Matthew's thing.
So,
Predators of Rubicon.
Predators of
It's pretty much what it sounded
like.
We're
just mashing it.
Just going from planet to planet.
Thank you for the ride in Milky Pockets. Always appreciate hearing from you, pal. Yeah. So we're moving over to you for who came third in this competition of the ride-ins. You're going to talk to it. Over to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. Yes, once again, thank you everyone for writing in. It was really great to read, to kind of hand over the mantle and listen to what you think of games. And just before I do this, it's really great to see that we've created something, that the pillars that we kind of came up with do resonate with our listeners, and they're very close to how other people would rate games. And I think that's just been really lovely as well. But coming in at third is Andrew, our very own Iron Cowboy from the Central Coast. Mate, thank you so much for writing in.
I think we say our very own because we know he's been with us for a while.
He's one of the OGs.
He's one of the OGs. So So, and every time we hear from him, I think he finishes his emails being like always looking forward to the next thing coming from the evening gay bar, which is now really solidifying it as a thing.
I think we need to go a couple of episodes just saying the evening gamer.
Yeah, because I feel like there'll be some listeners out there going like, I'm not listening to these weirdos. Like, what the hell?
Andrew covered Death Stranding. And I've read his email and I'm more than confident to let him take this review off our hands. Like this review from it's obviously not as long as we and as deep as we go into it.
Yeah.
But he talks to every single pillar. Here we go. Storyline. Death Stranding offers a deeply philosophical and often surreal narrative. Set in post-apocalyptic America, it follows Sam Porter Bridges as he reconnects isolated cities, which is a great fucking explanation. That's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
You are filling out the map in this game.
I feel like after reading his thing, I was like, oh.
The story explores themes of connection, loss, and existential purpose. It's ambitious, sometimes abstract, and distinctly Hideo Kojima, rewarding for those who appreciate layered, unconventional storytelling. Fucking well said.
Nice.
I've got an essay due at uni, Andrew. Do you want to proofread it for me, mate?
Andrew AI Cowboy.
Field mechanics. The core gameplay revolves around traversal and delivery. While that might sound mundane, Kojima turns it into a meditative tactical experience. Terrain, weight balance, weather, and cargo condition all affect your journey. The social strand system allows for indirect multiplayer cooperation, fostering a subtle sense of community that mirrors the game's main themes.
Yeah.
He writes a good email, doesn't he?
Mate, he's very articulate.
He is, yeah.
He's got range.
Character development. Sam starts as a loner but slowly opens up through meaningful interactions and backstory reveals. Secondary characters like Fragile Deadman, Higgs are richly developed, with motion captured performances adding emotional depth. The character arcs evolve naturally alongside the game's themes. Challenge and entertainment. Combat and stealth are present, but not the focus. The real challenge lies in mastering traversal and managing logistics. It's a slow burn. Some might find it tedious, while others find it deeply immersive and rewarding. Boss fights and BT encounters add spikes of tension and surreal horror. This is also entertainment to be gained by the sheer cast of characters and star Kojima is able to get to make appearances. Sorry, I read that. I was all over the place there, but
that's right.
Well done. Loot and extras, customization, gear upgrades and structures. You or others can build enhanced replayability. Vehicles, exoskeletons and delivery tools unlock progressively while loot is limited. The joy comes from functional upgrades and shared progress through the online systems. There will be no two playthroughs where everything will be the same unless you go fully alone and offline. Well said.
Well said. So what we want to say to Iron Cowboy is if you want to email back in and give us your scores for each of those pillars and then the average overall for the pillars, we'll then lock that in and put it on the leaderboard as the bona fide evening gay bar Iron Cowboy review.
Mate, for someone who wants to steer away from it, you're leaning into it.
I really am, I know. Well, just because he signs his emails off like that, so I'm doing it for him.
He does. Yeah, send in your out of 10s for those, mate, and we'll whack it on the leaderboard.
Yeah, done.
100%, but thank you for the write-in.
So, coming in number 2 spot is Nathaniel, who reviewed Skyrim. So, T's never played Skyrim.
I haven't, no.
And I have, and I emailed back Nathaniel and gave him a bit of an update on, or sort of what my experiences with Skyrim were, which I'll touch on now because like Skyrim is like one of these games that I think a lot of people have played, know about. It really probably has, it's on the Mount Rushmore pretty much of games.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
And I'm quite surprised it sort of skipped you by, but I gave it a go. And I think when it first came out, I was too young to appreciate it and give it the time it was, that it was owed, that it should have been given, because it is such a massive game and it's
huge.
There's so much to it.
You say Skyrim to anyone that plays games, they'll know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, it's everybody knows it. So when I first started playing it, and this was back where like my patience was probably it's small now, but it was even smaller then.
Really?
Surprisingly so.
Have you progressed, not even regressed? Well, from yeah,
honestly, I think as society goes on, like patience is one of those things that is like whittling away. Like people have no time. You look at social media and you go, if you don't catch me within 1 second, I scroll on. You know, like that's pretty much where we're at. Anyway, so Skyrim. So started playing it, was like following some quests around and like just getting lost in the world, having a great time. At some point I was like, I'm really annoyed. I've run out of lockpicks and I'm going down these giant fucking caves and I can't unlock anything. So immediately you're on Google going, how do I fucking hack, you know, how do I fucking get more lockpicks?
How do I teleport through walls?
Shit like that to you know, make the challenge not as hard and easy and basically cheat my way through the game.
Yeah.
And I did, you know, that was sort of born from my experiences, the GTAs and stuff. You go, give me unlimited ammo, that kind of shit. Anyway, so in the game, there was like a hack where you had to go all the way north and find this cave where you got a demonic book that then you could then replicate into a bookshelf and replicate it like 1 million times and clone the book. When you read the book, it would up level some of your skills. So then you could just max level all your skills with this one book by just doing this fucking hack. So I did that. And the game surprisingly became really fucking boring as there was no challenge. You one-shot everybody. Yeah. Every door gets opened. There's no skill involved. And I put it down like a mug. So I ruined one of the greatest games for myself. And I really regret that.
Yeah, that's fair. Mate, the challenges, that's why it's one of the pillars, man. It is such a big part of game. No one just wants to walk through.
Well, imagine the modern day equivalent of this would be, okay, I'm going to play Elden Ring, but I'm going to cheat to beat every boss and make a one shot. Like, what's the point, bro?
There's literally that's the game. There's no game without that.
You're basically just watching someone else do it who's really good at the game or something. Like, I don't know.
It just goes to show that what is the balance? What's the balance for you as a gamer between frustration and reward? Yeah. Where is your equilibrium of which that sweet spot between frustration and reward where it's enjoyment?
Oh yeah,
there's a razor thin corridor there where it's enjoyment.
You're very much on the money there because like you're right. Even with Tainted Grail, which is probably a Skyrim clone or sort of an Oblivion offcut kind of game, you're playing that and there's a quest and the quest is like fucking you need 3 specific items to unlock this fucking thing. So I'm running around trying to find the 3 specific items. In about 10 minutes, if I haven't found the items, it's Google, where the fuck are the items? I just can't do it. It annoys the fuck out of me.
I reckon you should get there should be an option in some of these games, especially if it's going to make you do something tedious like that. Like I remember even in the new Assassin's Creed, it was like find butterflies on trees. And it was like, you know, you should like give me like I don't know, a 500 meter radius.
Well, I mean, they did do that in Assassin's Creed. They did do that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, you used one of your scouts to go reveal this location.
Oh, I was always using my scouts for bigger missions.
I love that you used the one game that had that feature
Damn
into it.
But like RuneScape has it, it'll give you like 10% of the clue.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that actually kind of sets things in motion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, even with Tainted Grail, probably what I should do is just fucking saddle up and eventually I'm sure I'll find the fucking thing that unlocks the goddamn thing and not, you know, ruin it for myself. But anyway, so we're going to move to Nathaniel's review of Skyrim. He came second. It was a very tight race for who came first. I'm going to obviously not talk about who came first. We're going to cover that in a minute. Nathaniel pumps in, I don't know, I feel bad. Should I tell how much time he spends in this game? No, I'll skip that section. I don't want, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make him feel bad. I've put probably an amount of hours in.
Mate, I've put more than 500 hours into one game, so I don't think he's going to mind.
So he's put 500 hours into Skyrim, so, he knows this game.
There's someone listening right now being like, fucking those rookie numbers.
True. I'm impressed by that amount of hours.
Yeah, no, that is a good amount.
I'm trying to think of what game I've put that. Apex. Of course,
100%.
Of course,
mate.
you put that. Anyway.
100%, mate. Yeah.
Okay, let's just ignore the last 5 seconds of what I've just said. Well done, Nathaniel. Props
well
to
done,
you,
man.
my friend. So, storyline. Even if you've never touched the earlier Elder Scrolls games, though the lore is worth a dive, Skyrim stands strong on its own. You wake up on a cart, bound for execution, caught in the middle of an Imperial versus Stormcloak conflict. Just as your head's about to roll, boom, a dragon attack. Chaos erupts and you're forced to choose your escape route. That's your first decision, but it's just the beginning. From there, your journey as Dragonborn unfolds however you want to shape it. You gave storyline a 9.1 out of 10. You know, having played 10 hours maybe of it, that was certainly my first experience of it. And you can go just about anywhere and do a lot of different fucking things. All the guilds, you know, all the quest lines. I remember going down some cave. At the end, there's like a dwarven fucking door. You go in there, it's another goddamn deep mine. I got to the bottom of the deep mine and I felt like I was in there for like what felt like hours, like literal life hours hunting through this goddamn cave system.
You probably were.
And then it explodes out into a huge underground cavern system with huge walls and like tons of fucking these dwarven automatons in there. And I just was like, I haven't seen the sun in this game for like what feels like maybe 20, 30 hours. Like I ran out of health potions. Like this is ridiculous. Really, but that experience I played that game 20 years ago and that stuck with me. And I remember that one cave system even to this day, which, you know, is a testament to this game.
It's crazy some of the games that stick with you.
Or just the moments.
I still have memories of playing Gauntlet Dark Legacy on the PS2 in what must have been like 2003.
Yeah, fuck. There you go.
That's 20... What year is it? That's 23 years ago, 22 years ago.
Yeah, all right,
it's funny. Anyway.
All right, so field mechanics.
So do you agree with the 9.1? You're on board with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think we agreed. So what we said was Nathaniel and Iron Cowboy and whoever the winner eventually ends up being, we're going to lock all their reviews in on the board as bona fide evening gamer reviews. So 9.1, yes, I agree with. I'm not going to sort of split hairs, and also because he's put 500 hours in, I put 15 and I cheated.
He knows a lot more than you.
If I was to go like, I'm sorry, Nathaniel, you'd be like, shut up, guy. Yeah. So field mechanics, yes, the combat can be clunky and some powers feel unbalanced, but that's part of the Elder Scrolls charm. I never got tired of it. Whenever I was parrying with a shield, raising the dead, or going all in on archery, the one gripe was horse riding, always felt awkward and somehow slower than just running and hoofing it. So he's given 8.2 on field mechanics.
Okay, that makes sense. I did try Skyrim at one point.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was very recently.
Oh,
I think it was when I saw there was some update to Elder Scrolls on Xbox Marketplace.
Because there was Elder Scrolls Online.
And I think, and I think you're right. It might have been.
Because that's different to Skyrim.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I do, but what he's saying, maybe the mechanics were similar. What he's saying.
I mean, even Oblivion, when you ride the horse, like horse riding in games often, you know, it always feels a bit like, and I know
Zelda
what he means with
right.
it. Zelda did get it right. And Witcher 3.
I didn't mind Witcher 3. I was going to say that.
Kind of felt all right.
I actually didn't mind Red Dead Redemption either.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing with Red Dead Redemption is like you had to learn the controls pretty well.
Yeah.
Because there's times you walk up to the horse and you're like, okay, mount the horse, and you shotgun it in the head and get kicked in the head or something.
And remember, you'd keep your guns on your horse as well.
Yeah, true.
You have to you keep them on your horse.
What a trail off.
Unsaddle them. That's what I was looking for. Fucking hell.
Okay. So next pillar, challenge and entertainment. This game nails the feeling of danger and discovery. Every cave, town, or fork in the road felt like it could be your last. One favorite memory, stumbling into the Thieves Guild, slinking through sewers, dodging sketchy NPCs, and nearly getting my dick bit off by a random skeever. If you weren't prepared, it was back to your last save point, and that tension made it addicting. Love that.
Rate it.
9.6 out of 10 for challenge and entertainment.
Oh, okay.
I'd honestly agree with that.
See, Nathaniel's on my thought train here of doing the 0.6s and the 0.3s.
I'm okay with a single decimal point, but if you get to 2 decimal points, round up. Come on, like what are we doing?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Like I'm splitting hairs. So character dev and build. Few games offer this level of freedom. From the moment you escape Helgen, you're in control, want to shape the Civil War, become a vampire assassin, open a bookstore in solitude. It's all there. The main story gives you direction, but the world is yours to bend however you want. 9.8 out of 10 for character dev and build. And yeah, like Skyrim to me is definitely a pin-up for how to do like level progression, because I think it was the first game where it was like, you want to be good in fucking lockpicking, go lockpick a whole bunch of fucking shit and you'll get better at it. You want to be good at archery, shoot your goddamn bow a bunch of times and you'll level up your archery ability.
Yeah, I mean, it's RuneScape 101, isn't it? It's like spend hours and hours doing the same thing, and that's the way to level up. Or do you mean actually build the skill up from the dexterity standpoint of you being a human fucking being?
Nah, like what I'm talking about is like, so, you know, if fucking OSRS did it, you know, because I've never played it, so I don't really have, but I mean, it's that kind of, a lot of games back then, especially Xbox, PS5 or
they're
PS4
XP based.
Well, yeah, you'd level up by just killing things, and you get 1 point, and then you put the 1 point into whatever you're trying to build. Whereas in Skyrim, it was like you get the bow from the jump, and then you just use the bow, and that's how you get better at the bow. It was none of this like expenditure kind of thing, if that makes sense to you. There's like an inherent stat system within the game that increases.
That is OSRS, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's like you want to get better at mining, you need to use a pickaxe to mine
to get better at mining.
time again. And
but
every single time you successfully mine something, you get 20 experience or whatever it is.
We're probably talking about this and Nathaniel's sitting there going, you fucking idiots. But I'm sure there was also a leveling system where you would get a point and then maybe put it into the Dragonborn skills, which was the shouting. So it was like you had these like other other extra abilities where it was like you could boom shout and a shockwave would fly out of your mouth or something like that. Loot and extras. The loot system was solid, if a little uneven. Racial gear stood out, and I often stuck with guild armor for the enchantments and detail. One funny bit, the ridiculous amount of silverware. Why is there always a silver plate in a cave urn? Still makes me laugh. So loot and extras 8.4 out of 10. And I mean, I agree with that. Like, you'd want to go into these bloody caves to find like a good loot piece, you know, and then use the loot piece and kind of change up your build.
Nothing worse than a cave or a dungeon or a cavern that just has just nothing at the end of it.
Nothing in it. That is very true. And he is right that, like, you know, sometimes you play these games and you're like deep. I was playing Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, as I said, a similar kind of game to Skyrim. And I'm in the crypt underneath this town, and I've been told, go down there, clear it out. There's a monster in there. It keeps killing all our guards who go in there to try and clear it out. Go in there, clear it out. They say it hasn't been cleared out, or no one's been alive down there for like fucking 200 years or something. You go down there, on the bottom floor in a fucking like chest is like a piece of steak.
Oh, you're expecting like the Holy Grail at that point.
Well, no, not just that. I'm not talking about in the way of like I'm upset, because there was good loot in it. You did find something good at the bottom. What I'm more saying is like that meat's been in there for 100 fucking years. Like, why is it not called spoiled meat?
Yeah.
Why? There's milk. There's milk on the wall. It's like you go in there and there's like a pitcher of milk, and you're like, that's goddamn cheese by now. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that is true.
Anyway, so Nathaniel, or Nate, we should call him Nate, that's how he signed off, has wrapped it into a 9.01, 2 decimal places for you, sir.
9.01, there you go.
And we will put that on the board, and I know we've talked about this for a long time, of eventually publishing this board and getting it sort of more front-facing. At the moment, we've just got it internal. We want to do a little bit more work on it before we put it out into the universe, but we will put it on the board.
Let's do it. Comes in just above Returnal.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, because I love Returnal. I love Returnal. That's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, Returnal is I should play Returnal, guy.
Play Returnal.
Oh my God.
Do it, Taylor. It's the amount of times I'm on the Reddit page, because I still follow Returnal on Reddit, because they're coming out with a game by the same developers in the not too distant future. And the amount of times people comment on that going, how is this game not more talked about? Like,
it's a rite of passage, I reckon.
It's such a good game.
You know what I was thinking of the other day is I was driving, and just when I drive, I just go into my own head.
And muzz out.
I was thinking of, like, as a gamer, if I was to list like some of these bosses that I've beaten, same with yourself.
Yeah.
Like Returnal would have a handful of them on there. Like,
oh yeah, everybody remembers beating Axion. I think he was like the first boss in it.
Lex Asia in Lies of P is ridiculous, and then you've got something called the Puppet in Lies of P.
Yeah.
Equally as ridiculous. Really great boss fights.
Yeah. Even Melania. Fucking, we've talked about it before. Like, it is absolutely like a rite of passage of going, you beat those games. There was a story going around recently of like this kid and his dad made a bet on like his dad playing one of those games, one of the Dark Souls things.
Yeah.
And whether he could finish it or something. And they actually like live streamed it all and everybody got on the bandwagon and watched it. And it was actually really sort of wholesome watching him do it. Okay, so we are now up to the number 1 spot. So I don't know if we want to insert drum roll here.
Drum roll, let's go.
So the winner of the episode 50 competition giveaway, $100 coming from us to you, is Ben.
Benny boy, well done, mate.
I was so close to saying his surname again.
Yeah, I know.
Ben M. Ben M, my man, really appreciated the ride in.
Ben Ladar.
Ben is another person similar to our good friend Iron Cowboy. He's been with us on the journey for a while, and obviously he put a fair bit of thought into his review, as did just about everybody. So really appreciate the ride in, Ben. Congratulations, mate. $100. We will reach out to get your bank details and send you
schmeckles.
Those 100 schmeckies
coming your way.
And so the game he reviewed, getting to the actual sort of what the whole point of this competition was, is God of War Ragnarok, which is another game we haven't reviewed. So again, we'll add this to the mix and we'll back in his review. So
we're going to put all these up on the fridge.
Yes, and this is almost
the evening gay bar's fridge. Fucking hell.
I loved God of War, and I think I'm on record of saying I bought a PS4 and 5 pretty much to play the God of War games as they came out, the revised one they did, and then the sequel that they did, because the trilogy back in the day, those games really, as a kid, have left a mark on me. I loved playing those games. Because, I think most kids really had a little bit of the Age of Empires thing about of history, and sort of the Greek mythology was always kind of cool as a young lad to get into.
He's also up there with kind of Master Chief, Arthur Morgan level protagonist.
Yeah, he obviously was probably a sub-tier for the first trilogies of the ones back when we were a kid.
Yeah.
But then when they re-released the new ones, that put him in the whole sort of canon of top dogs.
Yeah, agreed.
Of leading sort of characters.
Just a great character, yeah.
And I'm they're talking about doing another one, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. But anyway, here we go. So, storyline, world building. One of my favorite storylines in gaming, and backed up with some high quality acting. Kratos' stature, backed up by Chris Judge's low booming voice, just gave him so much presence. Will be appealing to anyone with an interest in ancient history and mythology, which is something I've loved for a while. The story only uses those contexts as a vessel to carry the story along and does not follow the traditional storylines in those mythologies. Fair point. This is also a story of fatherhood and guiding a growing child that is different to you. I played the game before I had kids, and I'm tempted to do a rerun to see how it might potentially hit me differently now that I've had a couple. Self-redemption is also a strong theme in the game, and trying to escape one's past is a driving force of Kratos in this story. There's a lot to take away from the game. There is some nitpicky story points and conveniences that stop me from giving it a 10, but overall a top-tier story game. So he's giving it 9 out of 10.
Nice.
No decimal points.
Great start.
Feel and mechanics. 10 out of 10. It's hard for me to find something I didn't like about the feel and the combat in this game. The game is a hack and slasher at heart, but it adds so many layers for you to find the game style that fits you best. From the weight of the axe as you throw it and calling it back, when the time you parry, there's a little explosion and stylish slowdown of time. When you use the Blades of Chaos, which are Kratos' weapons from the original series, there is this kind of red hue that comes over the screen for certain moves, which feels like he's still got that rage in him that he's keeping at bay. They also made Atreus, the boy, a lot more useful and given him his own moveset that is very simple but contributes enough for you to not forget about him and look to use him where appropriate. And I cannot agree with him more. Like, having played those games, the way you threw this ice axe and called it back, the haptic feelbacks on the controllers, particularly in the sequel, the Ragnarok one, so like, you know, that feeling.
There's
like
something so satisfying about a weapon that comes back,
mate, or just the punch when you play in a game and they get the punch right where it's like a headshot and you feel it in the controller and it's like there's a thunk in it. You're like, oh, it's just kind of
a little bit of vibration in there and the hit marker and the way it kind of bounces off the controller almost.
I feel like, you know, shooting games often, you know, try to do this, and I feel like Apex probably, to be fair, did a fairly good job of it with a lot of their guns of just when you nail someone and you're like, oh,
when you don't miss a bullet and you're like, oh,
you can get the shiver down the spine. Yeah. Okay, so next we've got Challenge and Entertainment. I didn't find this game too difficult and probably only died a handful of times. The varied combat styles and much improved on from God of War 2018. Enemy diversity give you enough different flavors over the 30-ish hour story, probably closer to 60 after the side missions. However, during the puzzles, the game can hold your hand a bit too much and give you the answer quite quickly, which might actually be a plus for certain people. Looking at me. Hey!
To be fair.
But that's
we're all looking at you.
This pillar lost some points for me. I mean, I was already just saying it before going, I probably appreciated that.
And there it was written
and he's called me right out.
I love that.
8.5 out of 10. I agree with you. I remember playing that and not being challenged too much. I think in the first one they had these Valkyries, and they were like these side quest bosses, and the Queen Valkyrie was a tough fight. In this one, they had these kind of other, I'm berserkers, I think they were.
Yeah, right.
And they were a little bit challenging. But I mean, for you, mate, you know, with your PC now, you got to add the most recent God of Wars to the list for you.
I'll do the most recent, sure.
They're so good. Okay, character dev and build. Let's wrap this up. For me, the build options in this game are almost the perfect sweet spot in terms of how many different options there are and the different abilities you can attach to each weapon and shield, Atreus' move set, and a simple upgrade tree. It's probably not enough for it to be classified as an RPG, but it's a lot more than you'd expect from a story action adventure game, but it didn't overwhelm me like other games can. I felt like I had a decent enough grip on each of the weapons' gameplay styles to evaluate and choose my preferred one, which was the Leviathan axe for the majority of the game. I will say there isn't really an option for stealth, ranged gameplay. There are some ranged moves, but they are more secondary, but you probably aren't coming to this game for that. 9.5 out of 10 for character dev and build.
Nice. I remember the Leviathan weapon being in our an inclusion in our question of out of a hat.
Of good weapons.
Yeah, episode 10 or whatever.
Yeah. So I feel like Ben's really honed in on like the build style of this, but 9.5 as well for the character dev of like, we talk about this in terms of do the characters in the game develop over the course of the game?
Yeah.
You know, and in the first one, that one probably had a lot more character dev of him, Atreus learning, because there's a huge twist in it, which I won't ruin for you, but like you get to it, it's fantastic. And then in the second one, there's still more development, I think, because yes, Atreus kind of gets a little bit voice in the ear that kind of takes him in a different direction, and it's like his father, and he's sort of it's good.
As someone that hasn't played these games, they pop up in front of me when I'm just scrolling Instagram. Like so I think that like some of the cutscenes from these games. So like I think character dev rather. Yeah, I think he has a lot of substance.
Mate, it's honestly like I'd be saying as soon as you finish Last of Us Part 2, pop these in. Like, honestly.
So no Returnal then.
The gun to my head, which one I'd tell you.
How good is it me having a rig now? It's just opened up Pandora's box.
It really has. But God of War, I mean, Kyle's played God of War, I'm sure he has. And he rated it really highly. Yeah, I think he has. Okay, last pillar, loot and extras. This is one of those rare games where the side missions are almost as good as the main story, and you get stuff that's actually useful and can change how you play the game. The armor sets are really cool and detailed and actually give you different buffs, and you could easily miss a lot of these too if you don't go exploring. However, because these weapons are essentially integral story points, you can't find any additional weapons outside the main story, which makes sense for me. So he's given it a 9 out of 10. He did talk a little bit about the DLC, but I won't sort of go too deep on that. He gave it an overall score of 9.1. Overall score 9.1. Yes, so we'll add that to
on the scoreboard.
And then he just said, congrats on the 50 eps, boys. It's cool to have been there from close to the beginning and seeing your progression. He really enjoyed doing this exercise and found it challenging, but enjoyed it. I hope we find some value in it. We certainly did, Ben.
Yeah,
appreciate
100%.
it, mate.
Yeah, thanks so much, mate. And well done. 100 schmeckles coming your way.
Yeah.
And they will forever live. Nate's, Andrew's and Ben's write-ins will forever live on our leaderboard.
They certainly will, because I
worthy
honestly,
of their time in the sun.
You know, I mean, obviously you might have played God of War at some point. Skyrim is a little bit dated now, and I'm not sure either of us would go back to that behemoth. So
I think with games like, you know, you either play like World of Warcraft or you play Skyrim or you play RuneScape, you don't have time for all of them.
Well, yeah, so I would agree with
They are like lifetime long games.
Those like MMORPG ones, they're the ones that really set you in for life. Whereas Skyrim is one where it's like, if you want to commit...
It's first person Skyrim, isn't it?
Yeah. You want to commit 6 months or something to really get your money's worth. You know, geez, I mean, you download that game now. They've probably upped it, redone it, you know, modernized it. And it would still play clean as day.
Oh, yeah, it'd play nicely. Just is it dated? It's probably a little dated, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, having played Oblivion, they obviously, you know, gave that one a new bit of skin.
This is true. And
it played okay. So I feel like Skyrim probably still stands up a fair bit. Stands up the test of time.
How good.
But Ben, do use that $100 for... beer or a game,
a new elite controller. I don't know.
A new elite controller, yeah.
Game,
you know,
skins?
that could be good. That could be good.
Maybe a display.
Or I'm off them.
Yeah.
I'm off them.
Yeah,
you stick them on the wall and then they peel off like constantly.
Really? I have not had that.
And I had one over there and it's gone now. It dropped about 10 times.
Is that the pale blue dot one?
Don't West. Yeah, it is. Now it's dented over in the corner.
You've actually had a fair few pictures on the walls.
Yeah, I've arted up a bit around here.
Arted up a bit.
Do you like that one in the corner of Not My First Rodeo?
I do like that one.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one.
It ain't your first rodeo. No. It's not that man's. He's been doing that a while.
Okay. So
thank you everyone again for writing in.
Yes.
That was really great. We hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed doing it, you know?
I think they did. I mean,
stepping into the shoes of Taylor and Guy.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed us reading back your review that you wrote to you from us reading it.
Yep.
I don't know why I made that so convoluted.
No, that was heaps good.
So what's coming up is Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
And then Mafia the Old Country.
Mafia the Old Country.
Cannot wait for Mafia the Old Country. I'm really looking forward to that.
Also, I believe we are moving to fortnightly episodes.
We are.
We're trying out fortnightly episodes. We're focused on content. We want the content at the end of the day to be top quality, top notch. And we think just where life is at the moment, where the podcast is going, we will be able to deliver better content.
Yeah.
If it's done over a fortnightly.
Give us more to talk about.
Yeah.
Give us a bit more time to prep for it. You know, as sort of Ben indicated, sometimes life gets a little bit in the mix of it all. And, you know, we've waited a couple of weeks, obviously, to get the reviews coming in to have a good sort of pool to pull from. But yes, fortnightly from this point forward, and we'll lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. And we've obviously got the YouTube. We're continuing to add eps to that. So we're trying to modernize the whole package for you guys.
That's it. But most importantly, don't be an NPC.
Keep leveling up, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.